on, everybody? It's your boy Pitts Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live. Listen, it's going down all things HBCUs. And who else better to start it off with them Bowie State Bulldogs? We coming to you, Bowie State Bulldogs, total access. We got the Morgan State Bears. Listen, all HBCUs information, all HBCU news, sporting events, updates. You get it live here with Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Comcast Channel 77, Verizon Channel 11 is going down. Don't you miss a beat.
Listen, it's only the beginning because it's early still.
And
we're gonna be here all day.
All day.
What's going on, everybody? You know what it is. It's your boy Pitts and Foot Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live. CIAA HBCU softball today. This isn't the first time you've seen them. Last time you've seen them, it was all down Spartanburg, South Carolina, before the CIAA CX softball tournament. But here today, they are right here live with us. Y'all know what it is. Shaw University Bears. What's going on, ladies?
Hey.
Listen. Y'all go ahead, take us away.
We are the Lady Bears softball team.
Coach Reginald Cooper, Shaw University head softball coach of the Lady Shaw, the Bears coach. Listen, one thing I wanted to do, because again, I want to kind of pivot, right? Because you did something that was different that I've never done, and I really want you to elaborate to the world. You know, IG, Facebook, Instagram, Comcast. When we met, instead of you and I sitting down one-on-one, you elected to do it as an entire team. Can you share your thoughts, your reasons on that?
Yeah, I mean, I had a great group of girls last year, and it wasn't fair for us to single out two young ladies because this is not an individual sport. We try to do it different here at Shaw University in the sense that we're like-minded. If one can talk, all can talk. We're trying to change the culture of not only how people see black college softball, but how people are seeing Shaw University. And it just don't stop. You know, you just don't do it. We can't do it that way, Pitts. It's unfair to these young ladies that we're asking to get up at 5:45 every morning to bust their butt to make Shaw University softball better. And then don't allow them to be able to say, hey, we're better because of X, Y, Z. So we'll never do an interview where it's, you know, just me and two others, because I feel as a coach that if I surround myself with the right coaching staff, the right players, that anybody can talk about this program and hold them in high esteem.
Absolutely. And ladies, and in any order you wish to choose and take this, can you talk about what does that mean to you as a player, knowing that regardless of the sentiment or regardless of the reason being, that your coach definitely makes sure that it's not one voice heard, that it's an entire collective? How does that make you feel as a player?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you go ahead and take it off mute. Anytime you can take it off mute.
Okay, there we go. I think it's very big that we can not be seen individually, but as one unit, as one group, as one program, and no one gets that one camera on them. We get the camera on everybody. We get the coverage on everybody, so that we can all produce and have something to fight for.
How does that make you feel personally?
I honestly feel a little bit more grateful that we don't have to feel like by ourselves when we come to these interviews. We can go into the interviews more confident because we have our teammates with us. So that's how it is for me. I can have my teammates by my side.
Any other ladies want to jump in? And if you want, you could just raise the hand to which group, and I can unmute it for you. Okay. Unmute mic. Okay. Okay, so technical acts like it doesn't want to work for me then. Okay. Okay, I can hear you. Did we lose one?
Iona, answer that question.
I think, like Sahaya said, it gives us the atmosphere to be comfortable and know that we're not in this alone, and that we have each other's backs and will forever be each other's support systems. Because not only when we come into these interviews, is it a support system, it's a lifelong support system that we're going to have outside of softball and school. It'll be a family that we've grown together to have each other's backs, that we'll walk away with for the rest of our lives.
Okay, and I apologize, Lily and Jordan. I know I couldn't unmute it. I don't know what technical is not working on my end, but I did know you wanted to share. So I'm definitely going to come back to you at some point to get your thoughts. And this is a universal question as well for the team. Can you share any insights on your team's training and how it's evolved since last season?
Crystal Walker.
Can you repeat that question for me, please?
Can you share any insight, on the team's training and how you guys going from last season going into the fall season, how has it evolved?
Our program has evolved by adding additional individuals that are ready to put in the work to make the program greater. I think this fall semester, something that we're trying to key on is the little things. The little things are going to bring you to the best result and the greatest success. So that's our little insight for now as far as what has changed within the program is adding the individuals that we needed, but also focusing on the little things that are going to take us to the next level.
All right. Anyone else want to tackle that one?
So, how's the training been for you?
Okay, the training has been pretty good. It's hard at times, but yeah. But we get it together. That's all I got.
Here's something I have that each of you will be able to answer. Should be able to answer. I'll say that. Should be able to answer. Going from last season, right? What are some things that you ladies have done in the off season to strengthen your game individually? What are some things that you focused or worked on more in the off season going into this season?
For me, a lot of it was just getting healthy and then getting my mind right. I think over the summer, like me and my dad, that's all we would do. We would just work like the pitches that I struggled with last year. That's all I would work on in the summer. I felt like I could have been faster, and then that's something else I worked on in the summer. And it really helped coming in here because it's like you kind of got a head start. And then, yeah, the weights, of course, all the workouts. Yeah.
Okay, Sylvia, I know you had your hand raised.
Oops.
You said Sylvia, but it's Haya.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's okay. So the difference between last year and this year, I think it's our mental. Last year we had a lot of like outliers in our team. We had a few outliers in that with their mentality, they allowed for themselves to slack off. And this coming into this year, we're able to keep each other accountable, focus on, again, like Coach Crystal said, the little things. But not only that, but just make sure that we're mentally tougher. We're getting the workouts in. We're getting through the hard days, the long hours. We're getting through that. And that's all through mental and physical strength.
Okay. Anyone else want to jump in? All right. Coach, let me ask you this question. How's the team preparing for the upcoming season, for the upcoming fall season, and what are your main goals that you've set so far?
So In preparing for the fall season, we play D1 competition, and that's just like a measuring stick for us. If we can do some good things against D1 opponents and high JUCO opponents that we play, we think we'll be okay for the spring season coming up. A lot of softball has to do with believing you can get the job done,
Yeah.
right? We're asking young ladies to go out and hear the message that we're trying to preach and let them know that we believe in them and their abilities to get the job done, but we can't be, as coaches, we can't be the only one believing that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You know, because as I've always said, and I think I even said this to you, Pitt, coaches don't ever catch a ball, throw a ball, hit a ball. You know what I'm saying? They just put nine out there to hope that they'll make a couple of plays for them to get us through. Now, last year when we had this conversation with the team, um, it was a team that had some really good players on it, and they chose to do other things. This year we brought in another group. We were at 24, 20, 24, and I think this group is just as good as the team from last year or better. We went out and hunted for some of the best hitters to back up our power hitter that we already had. We went across country and brought five freshmen in that were standouts at pitching, at third base, at in the outfield, middles that could probably play anywhere they want to. These kids that we're bringing in, that Shaw Universities get now, were kids that could go anywhere they wanted to, and they chose us because of the message that we were preaching. So I will tell you that have we had some growing pains? Yes. But I am proud of the group that not only the team that we put together, but we've added coaches. We have Coach Marty, we have Coach Sidney, who was a standout at North Carolina Central, Crystal Walker, who played here at real high level for us. So we're doing all the little things that we see other teams doing, you know, to try to be a better program, because that's key. If we get one step better every day, people are going to start seeing Shaw a little different. You saw the vibe that we had when we beat Tuskegee. Nobody
Yeah.
expected us to beat Tuskegee last year,
Yeah.
but the mentality that we brought, that was the mentality that we fed off last year. Any nine, any time. We still believe that. You know, I tell people all the time, Pitch, we want to be in 2 to 3 years, we want to be considered the Oklahoma of D2 softball, where people are begging to come here and play softball because we're
Absolutely.
trying to do it the right way. Do we
Absolutely.
always get it right? No, we don't. But we're willing to, and I will say this: we got a great group of girls where when we're not getting it right, we can kind of talk to them. We getting better at being able to have a conversation with them, and they see what we're trying to do. That's going to always be a work in progress when you're bringing a group together for the first time, trying to accomplish a common goal. We got kids from all over. We got kids from South Carolina, Virginia, Delaware, uh, Georgia. We have kids that are from California. So we're a talented group. We didn't go out and say we're just gonna pick up girls just to pick up girls. We got. I think we got one. Let me rephrase that. I think we have three of the most prolific power hitters that people are going to be talking about for a long time. And
Yeah.
Cynthia Dobbins and Christina and Iona Davis. We're going to be really good when this season start. It's not going to be it's just show anymore. It's going to be, do anybody really want to play us, because we're doing it the right way. And have we had some bumps in the road? Yes. But in those bumps in the road, there's always a lesson in those bumps in the road.
Absolutely. And coach, if you can, your thumb is kind of
My bad.
blocking. No, you're good. But to his point, right? A couple points. First and foremost, there is no progress without restraint, right? So we don't move forward and we can't grow if we don't experience the challenges, the pitfalls, and the downfalls. Those are what builds the character, the discipline, and everything else. And everybody definitely goes through them. One thing Coach said, when you talk about in the fall and you're playing D1 teams, the notion is, and as you see my air quotes, right? The notion is because it's D1 is better, they're more athletic. I don't believe that. I believe that if you gave D2 schools the same amount of scholarships and facilities as D1s, it'd be a totally different conversation. But with that being said, when you ladies play against D1 teams, right? Because that's an iron sharpening iron. Those are teams that you're really not supposed to be on the field with. What is it that transcends you, or how did you carry that over into the season? The mindset that regardless of who you play from a D1 school, how do you carry that mindset over as you go into D2 and CIAA play?
So I know coming from like a JUCO and coming here, I was expecting a difference in the competition. And so playing the D1, it's definitely an eye opener. It changes your perspective of what you thought you were going to experience versus what you could experience. It really
Okay.
changes your perspective.
Okay. And I can definitely see that. Anybody else want to jump in?
For me, playing D1 is just another day of competing. Like before we played or before we go play a game, like we'll say what we think we should do. And for me, it's just compete every pitch, battle every pitch, every inning. And yeah, it's just another day competing.
How do you ladies take that the same mental fortitude from playing D1 and transcend and translate that to when you guys start CIAA roundup? Yes, ma'am.
So
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question again?
No, I was saying if you can just talk us through the mindset, right, of going from fall ball playing against D1, right? You're getting ready, you start preparing for spring ball. What are some things that you can do to, take some of the lessons learned, the growing pains from fall ball, and merge it and strengthen it and build it going into spring?
I really think it's just about applying yourself and being committed and really just wanting to be out there and wanting to do the best for your team. Um, the things that we work on fall really are going to set the tone for what we do in spring. So I'm excited to see what we have to bring this year.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. You go ahead. Yes. Yep. You go.
So coming from the fall into the spring, I think that playing these D1 schools allows us to mentally prepare from like in the fall we're able to see the things that we wouldn't normally see until after we get past conference. So that kind of prepares us to like for regionals and things like that. And then once we get into actual conference play and like the playoffs and everything, I think that because we've played these schools in the fall in our off season, we're able to go in with a high head like, well, we just played this team, like this is nothing. Like it allows us to have more confidence going into the game mentally.
And with that, before you log off with that, right? Coach says 89 anytime. I love that slogan, right? And then also, he did mention to me before, he said coaches don't hit, they don't pitch, they don't field the ball. Can you share from a player amongst your other teammates, what are some things that you ladies can do to kind of help sharpen each other mentally, emotionally, and physically, right? Because when it come to baseball, or softball, I'm sorry, when it comes to softball, say you're not having a good day at the plate, but you're killing it in the field, right? Talk about the coaching up and the encouragement from your other teammates. Talk about the experience of what that. How does that teamwork, that team camaraderie play in the building of the continuity that you guys can develop within each other, also while playing these D1 schools?
Mm-hmm. So we focus a lot on making sure we have our energy up. We always talk about energy, and we always talk about our mental game because those are the two biggest key components to playing and being successful while playing. And I think that when we all pick each other up and we're there for each other on and off the field, we're able to once again create memories and just do something different that Shaw hasn't seen before. I think that this new team and the girls that we brought in and combining with who we had before, I think we can be most successful doing this because of that.
Okay. Anybody else want to jump in and tackle? Tyler? You want to jump? You want to jump? Who want to jump in?
Do I go? Yeah. Okay. I think for me personally, knowing that one of our teammates, Sahaya, always says that we kind of have a job to do, and you're not gonna always go 2 for 2. You're not always gonna go great on defense, and you're not always gonna go great on offense at the same time. It's kind of one or the other. So knowing that if I struggle on defense, I know that one of my girls has me when it comes to hitting, or even vice versa. So I think honestly that helps my mentality and just wanting to back up any one of the girls when I'm playing, because I know that it's not just me out there. It's a collective group. It's not just a single person sport. It's a 9-player sport, and those 9 girls are gonna do and including the girls even in the dugout, they're gonna do everything in their power to not only boost me but boost another girl that could also be down.
So, Coach Cooper, what are some? How do you plan to balance player development and competitive performance this year?
We're on all the jobs are open, so we are doing a good job of evaluating everybody. We played 2 fall games and or 3 fall games and have kind of had our ups and downs. But I can see the potential in everybody that we have here. Our biggest thing, as you know, because you're a former athlete, is being consistent with what we're trying to do. Our message has to be consistent to them too. I, as a coach, have to be better at holding them accountable when they don't do something right, and then they have to be consistent with receiving that message. I think, you know, we have to get out of the mindset that because this is D2 softball or D2 black college softball, it's no good softball being played down here. Because it is. Bowie has toted the crown a couple of times. We've had Claflin win a couple of championships. Even before I took the job, 12, 13 years ago, Shaw had won a softball crown. We're, as a conference, I think we do a really good job of, trying to get everybody to play a better schedule. That's what's going to help us as far as going into like if we make it to the NCAA, because there's no automatic bid. Well, it's the automatic bid for us, but there's no guarantee that if we can have a killer record that we may get in. So we have to play better. We have to play better competition. Well, this year we're playing better competition not only in the fall but in the spring too. What I will tell you, and I hope you follow us. I know Boo is near and dear to your heart, but I hope you follow us this year so you can see the growth that we have. Because for a long time, the narrative is, oh, it's just Shaw. Well, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? We, every morning, Pitts, these young ladies meet me at 5:45 and we get a workout in. We leave from the workout, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we add a hitting session on. And then we go back and at 3 o'clock and have a field workout. So they are doing the little stuff that they need to do to become champions. It's just we're going to have some good days and we're going to have some bad days, and that's coaches included. The beautiful thing about what we're trying to accomplish here is everybody here is trying to adjust to how we want it done. It's a work in progress, like anything. It's like a marriage. You got to work at it. But I have a great coaching staff behind me. We went from me coaching and a player coach to now we have three. I have three solid coaches behind me. We have a guy that just breaks down film for us and tells us every day that, hey, if we do this, this, and this, we should be successful. I have a catcher, a former catcher who played D1 softball that is working with our catchers, making us better. Krista Walker's in the outfield doing that part of it, and I'm working the infielders and the pitchers. every day that we take a step forward, Shaw University softball and CIAA softball is getting better. And I believe, as I told people before, I think I'm going to have two of the greatest hitters ever to play CIAA softball. Cynthia Dobbins and Iona Davis are going to set records this year. I believe that.
Is that one of them back there snickering, all
Yes.
shy in the back?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
one thing I do wanted to, and I thank you for that. One thing I do want to express, I actually do follow all the CIAA teams. Bowie's near and dear to my heart because I went to Bowie, but one is because I live in this area, so they're a lot more closer to me to manage. But when it comes to softball, I will say that when it comes to softball, I do watch all, and I share a lot of the things that a lot of your team share on your pages as well. Because, like I said, for me, I think it became a more personal for me, especially coming down and being able to, spend time with you, coach, your players, coaches from Clark Atlanta, coaches from Fayetteville. I've developed a personal relationship with a lot of your coaches, so it's not just personal for me with Bowie, but personal and the exposing and the exposure when it comes to HBCU athletics, more importantly, HBCU softball women athletics as well. So everything I do, trust me, it might be heavy Bowie, and that's because that's my area and that's where I live. So I'm there with Bowie and Morgan a lot. But even with Morgan, I still give coverage to Dell State. I still give coverage, to Howard and those other schools. Whoever is willing and want to speak with me and also get that information out there. So yeah, I've already told you, I apologize, and I'll definitely make sure I do a better job of keeping up and starting to do more in season interviews with you because just like I do with Lincoln or Bluefield State. I've never been to either one of their schools, but I still want to keep putting that information out there because my goal is to make sure that every young lady, regardless of where she lives, whatever state she lives in, that she understands that regardless, there's an HBCU softball team out there for you. All you gotta do is look around and find out. They play better ball than some of your D1 schools. I've seen it. So my goal is to push that out there to give that more of the media exposure. Like for you, for example, I know a couple young ladies in the North Carolina area who's in high school who play softball, whom I've also been giving information out, and I have them watching this broadcast as well because my goal is to make sure I put all the information that they need in front of them, for them to make an informed decision and not just what they hear people say about HBCUs or what they hear people say about Shaw or what they hear people say about a Johnson C. Smith or Fayetteville State. I'd rather them get it straight from the coaches themselves.
Well, we appreciate that. Once again, I enjoyed, having the opportunity to meet you last year. I think you're doing a great job. Um, anytime that I can highlight my team and the great stuff that they're doing to make this university and the softball program better, and it's just a blessing for me. I will tell you that Shaw University is going to be really good this year. I really believe that we're going to be really good in being able to compete at a high level this year. We had our captain back, Alyssa, who's back. She was the shy one that sat beside you in the interview before. But like she said, she took the challenge of getting better on the stuff that she struggled with last year. You can't. As a coach, I can't do nothing about the effort. The effort comes from the kids. I think we're going to have one of the best middle combinations in the league this year. That's effort. We're going to be really good. We have some dynamic pitchers. We have a kid from Delaware that's dynamic. We have a kid from California that's dynamic. Two kids from California. And we got something that a lot of people are not going to see in the CIAA in a left-handed pitcher. And Yaya is special.
Yeah.
She is special. And you're going to be reading about her. So through cross, we don't. I'm not afraid to step out of my comfort zone and go look at kids and build relationship with these AAU programs. You know, the Corona Angels have gave us a bunch of kids who have, that are going to make this program better. Um, if you if you if you follow greatness, you're going to become great. You know,
Absolutely.
Corona Angels out of California, and they got a Corona Angels Texas too. They all are great softball, like you said, young ladies who are looking for a place to play softball. So this is easy for me.
Yeah.
This year I've been blessed. All the stuff that we said we wanted to do here, adding coaches, getting heavy hitters, getting people who can play the glove like they supposed to play, like we're supposed to be. That that it's been so easy for me. Now, have I been frustrated at times? Yes, but I can say I would trade nobody on this team for anybody else. I really believe Pitts. And remember when it happens, Coop said it was going to go this way.
Yeah. The ladies, are you guys believers? Do you believe? Because Coach has a lot of belief in you. You know, do you believe in yourself? Because like Coach said, he can't do the effort. You can't coach effort. Effort is within. But the belief system that he has in you, it basically says and it dispels all of the effort and the potential that he sees in you. I'm excited. I get excited when softball season come around. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I get excited, and then the chance take me out. Like sometimes I gotta remember, I'm not on no softball team, but those chants be so catchy that I be finding myself at times just sitting there in the car by myself saying it, and I be snapping out like, "What are you doing?" So, but Coach, I definitely appreciate you, man. I thank you for lending your team availability for me today. I definitely appreciate it. I love the team continuity that you're building and the culture that you're establishing with the ladies. I look forward to seeing you ladies again in February this year. And definitely look forward to getting some of y'all in y'all comfort zone. We definitely going to get y'all talking a little more. Anything else you want to take us away with, Coach, before we close out?
Uh, no, I just want to say in front of it's easy to tell people when they're gone how important they are. We preach that we're telling these kids that they're very important to us while they're with us. You know what I'm saying? And so, um, if you're looking for somewhere to play softball, choose Shaw University because we're doing it different now, and you will be mentored by some really good young ladies who believe in what we're doing, not only pitch, and here's the thing, not only on the field, but in the classroom. We got biology majors, we got psych majors, we got mathematic majors that are doing criminal justice majors that are doing the stuff not only on the field, but in the classroom where it really matters. Because if we're being honest, after they finish here, most of these young ladies won't ever play competitive again. You know what I'm saying? So, as a coach, as coaches, we try to make sure that this 4 years, we should every day we go out there, we should make it memorable. We should laugh together. We should cry together. We should celebrate together. If we do those
Absolutely.
three things, we're going to be, whether we win or lose, we're going to be okay. We're going to be
Absolutely.
okay. We're going to be okay. Like I told you last year, it was like we had a bad foundation, and we had to reset our foundation. Well, look at a year later what the foundation looks like now. We're still getting quality kids to come in, not only on the field but in the classroom where it really matters. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. So I'll be hitting you up, texting you, letting you know the scores and how we've done and how our power hitters are done and how our middles are doing and just the overall look of the team because
Yeah.
I really believe that we got something special going on here at Shaw University.
Well, ladies, I appreciate you for having me, taking this time on with me. You know what it is? It's your host, Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV. It's going down. HBCU Athletics, Shaw University, Lady Bears. You already know what it is. CIAA. Let's get it.